Hey folks, so I know it's been a little minute since I made my last video, but I wanted to really educate myself more and study the word biblically, so that I can give you guys more substance and more nutrients that is lacking in the Christian, or better yet, spiritual aspect of life. So through this, what I've been learning is that a lot of people these days, they are looking for more of an inspirational, motivational speech. And I'm here to give you guys that too, but I'm also here to share the word and save souls and lives, and not to deceive you guys in any kind of way. I've really been developing a closer bond with God above, and this is the message I feel that He wants me to share for you guys specifically today. And the topic I want to focus on majority. The main word that I want to focus on is nutrients. And nutrients is defined as a substance that provides nourishment essential for growth and maintenance of life. A substance that provides nourishment essential for growth and maintenance of life. What I've been finding a lot is that people aren't getting the right nutrients. If you don't get the right nutrients, how can you ever grow? How can you ever maintain life? Nothing can ever grow properly without the right nutrients. For example, feeding a tree apple juice and lead lights. That tree will not grow. In fact, if it does try to grow, it will be sick and it will die quickly. Or another example, a baby that is fed candy and soda pop instead of milk and a proper diet. Right? Outcomes. What's the outcome? Without proper nutrients, things will just wither away. Nothing good comes from an improper diet, but sickness, illness, death, and decay. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. But I feel as though people have been deceived for so long, they don't know the difference between right and wrong. They don't know the difference of proper nutrition, being fed proper nutrition, and not being fed proper nutrition. Because a lot of us, since the day we were born, we have been improperly fed. Right? And I've been watching a lot of videos, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff, pastors, people who have claimed these pastors to be false prophets, not giving people the right nutrients that they need, instead feeding them what feeds them. And what I mean by that is they are feeding people a message so that they can reap the reward, right? So that they can reap the reward. While you are going home, still starving, still hungry, still looking for appropriate shelter. And I hate to point people out, and I hate to say names, but they know who they are. The false prophets that are not preaching spirituality, but are literally motivational, inspirational teachers. They really need to stop using the name of God and just going for what it is. become a psychologist, a therapist. Because a lot of these false prophets, you know, because actions always speak louder than words. And I'm gonna give you guys an example. Say if you have a pastor with a mega church, right? And it's nothing wrong with having a mega church, but don't let your eyes deceive you. If that pastor is walking around in $1,000 suit, a $500,000 car, $1 million plus house, and you're attending that church and you can barely make rent, there's something wrong with that church. There's something wrong with that church. And not even the church, the pastor. Right? It's all biblical. You can go back in the Bible. You got to ask yourself, would Jesus do that to his people? Jesus literally cleaned his disciples' feet. So if you have a pastor that's doing any of this, you better be welcome into their house whenever they want. If they have a $1 million plus house, it better be an open hotel. Right? Because that's the Jesus, that's the Christian I know. If he has a $500,000, $1 million car, if you need a ride, he better be able to give you a ride. If he has a jet, when you're ready to take a trip, you better be able to rent that jet out. That's the God I serve. That's the Jesus I know. Any other teachings, that's not the God I know. That's not my God. That's not the God I serve. Proper nutrients and improper nutrients. What are you feeding yourselves? What are you watching on television daily? What are you reading on the news? What are you listening to? Do you have adequate discernment to discern right from wrong? Truth from fiction. Truth from non-truth. Do you have that ability? Because a lot of people I'm seeing and discovering don't have that ability. People 20, 30 years older than me still don't have that ability to properly discern between right and wrong. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Because I have empathy because I know that life. Being adopted, coming up from circumstances, experiencing things as a young girl I should have never experienced. Being sexually molested at 3 years old and not having any discernment and no one there to back me up because I was adopted and my mom didn't understand me. And she chose she preferred to choose her family's favor over mine. So I know all about circumstance. I know all about not being able to discern. And that's why I'm talking right now at this very moment. Because I want to help. To be able to have real change, you have to be able to look at yourself and decide, I'm tired of the bullshit. Give me the real. Give me the proper nutrients that I need. Because if I don't, all that's going to come is death and decay. Since Eve and Adam ate of the fruit. And yeah, it might not be instant, but it's coming. Because you're no longer receiving that proper nutrients that you needed. Since that point on. We were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and we haven't been able to get the proper nutrients since. So you have to fight for yourself, and you have to be able to discern right from wrong. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these people, they know what they're doing and they just don't care. That's like that saying, if your friend jumped off a 5-foot building, would you follow after him? Instantly, people would say no. But in reality, that's what a lot of y'all are doing. And we have to say no, because if you don't, all that's going to come is death and decay. And a lot of people want to blame God. Oh, why did they give my cousin cancer? Why did he have to die this way? Hey, it's not God. That's not God that's doing that. That's Satan. And whatever you're feeding yourself. Improper nutrients versus proper nutrients, right? And Jesus tried to come. He tried to feed us what we needed. He tried to tell us the way. He tried to show us the way through his life. But still, a lot of us, we fail to believe. We leave church and we get that 30-minute hour to an hour inspirational service, and we feel like we can just do it ourselves. God isn't present right now. He's not watching me right now. His spirit, his angels aren't upon us right now. That's not the message we're used to hearing. We're hearing, oh, we can go out and do this. God is going to help us from above. Like he's not with us presently right this moment. If you're not getting that kind of spiritual teaching, then you haven't been to church. You haven't received the proper nutrition. You've gone to church and they fed you soda pop. They giving you a sugar rush. So they can make that quick $50, $100 and go on that jet to Aruba. So just be able to discern right from wrong. That's what we are working on right now. Because right now we don't know what's good for us and what's not good for us. And that's where we're lacking, in the church and elsewhere. And I think that's really all I wanted to touch base on today is nutrition. What are you feeding yourself on a daily basis that's going to have a lasting outcome? Are you feeding yourself candy and soda pop every day? Getting a sugar rush off the music, off the crap music you listen to? Off the people you watch? Off the things you see? Off the things you do? Or are you getting the proper nutrition? Are you feeding yourself positivity every day? Are you believing in yourself fully? Are you believing Jesus is here and present. Because I can say every struggle that I've been through, I've learned something from it. And I've learned not to make the same mistake twice. The old me is dead and gone. The new me is rising, rising, and rising even higher. So what is the legacy you plan to leave? Because once you leave, it's heaven or hell, honey. That's what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you because it's a lot of false prophets, a lot of false teachings out here. I know exactly where they're going. And it doesn't take an expert to figure it out. And it's approaching closer and closer. It's steadily approaching again, closer and closer every day to the end times. And it's a lot of y'all out here that's following that friend off a 5-foot cliff, off of a 50-foot cliff, and don't even know it. So much has been happening. It's time for a real change. There's so many people out here, they don't even want to hear a message from God. That's how lost they are out here. That's how lost they are out here. They hear a message from God, they get mad. They see truth, they get mad. Truth, they get mad. So just be aware. And like I said, God is not going to come find you. Jesus did that already. He already went, he already preached, and we already know the outcome of that. You have to find him for yourself this time. He's not going to come here and wipe your boo-boo and kiss your ass. Love has learned. Love has learned that not everybody can be loved. Not everybody wants to be loved. And that is perfectly fine. If you want to spend eternity burning in hell and misery, go right ahead. This is for the ones that actually want life in eternity. You want to be with all the miserable murderers, drug dealers, mentally ill people? That's your choice. But me, I'm looking for the peace. I'm looking for prosperity. So that's just all I wanted to talk about today is nutrients. Are you being fed properly or improperly? These and all blessings I pray in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Let this message be heard and understood to the ones you have chosen to hear. These and all blessings I pray in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Y'all stay blessed.